Wow, I did not know this needed to be said. Okay, so apparently many players are a little bit confused about whether you should be investing into your wilderness. So I've done a wilderness video before, but this is not going to be the same thing, okay? You guys already checked that out in the past. You already know that I am a huge proponent for the wilderness, but sorry, my bad. Okay, so I made one fatal flaw yesterday. So the rate over here shouldn't have been 1.18. So yesterday, this was whatever that I showcased in the video, which is actually not correct. What this rate is suggesting is that we are failing every one of our 50-50, which is not going to be true. So the actual rate is actually 1.57% for a banner 6-star rate in the long run, not 1.18. So what that means is instead of needing 10 months to P5 6-star a banner character free to play, we only need 7.5 months this time around. It's a big change. Now, one more thing, I forgot about the jukebox as well. So every single month, assuming that the jukebox remains the same, we should get one Unilock over here at level 20 and another Unilock at level 40 for an additional 2 Unilocks. But this should not matter that much. But anyway, for this part, it wouldn't take away from whatever that I was trying to explain yesterday, which is just conserve your summons for when you actually need it and when you actually want to summon stuff. Don't just blow away your summons thinking that, okay, I'm just going to keep rolling on every single banner, right? And I also uploaded this into my community page. So if you've already seen it, then you've already seen it. All right, so back to the video. It's come to my attention that there are people who are even asking if they should buy the wilderness stuff from the shop. Let me show you exactly why it is extremely important for you to clear out the shop. You can see where fog remains. I have gone ahead to purchase all of these items. These are the buildings, by the way. These are not the islands. But you may also choose to buy the islands if you so wish to. Not because of aesthetics. I mean, unless if that's your thing, then yeah, sure, go ahead. But there is a very big reason why you want to focus on getting some of these streets, or at least some of these tiles, and not every single tile. So I made a mistake in the past in the first wilderness theme pack over here, right? I actually went ahead to buy out all the tiles. This was a huge mistake on my part. I completely regret it. And because of that, I don't have enough currency to buy the buildings over here. Always focus on your buildings first. That's not to say that you shouldn't be focusing on any of the tiles. There are some tiles that give you different vigor levels. So there are some tiles that give you a lot of vigor, and there are some tiles that give you very little vigor. You can see that some of them are rated differently, right? We have the 6-star tiles here, and we also have the 5 and the 4-star and the 3-star tiles as well. They all give you different amounts of vigor. Let's take a look. So for example, you can go to edit wilderness here, and if you take a look at Forgotten Plains, for example, right, or whatever, the green field, for example, each tile would give you 6 vigor on average. Or actually, they just give you 6 vigor. 6 vigor, alright? 6 points of vigor. Because 42 divided by 7 is 6. The same is true for the Lakeside Forest as well. 48 divided by 8, that is 6. Now, this is a huge problem because a lot of players don't even realize that some of these tiles actually give you a lot more. So for example, Anthony Yard, each tile gives you 8 vigor per tile. The same goes for all of these, whatever, right? All these birthday things, birthday banners. But there are tiles that actually give you 10 points, 10 vigor per tile. And those are like, for example, some of these new tiles over here. So I have 1, 5, 6, 7. If I remove this, oh no, sorry, that's an 8-point tile, my apologies. But okay, you know what? Just to give you guys an idea of how powerful some of the tiles are, I'm actually going to reset everything. So what you can do is you sort this according to rarity, right? Sort it according to rarity over here. So all the tiles that give you the most points will be up in front. You can see Moonrise Coast. Each of these tiles gives you 10 vigor. Plus 10, you can see at the top right here, right? 10 whole vigor. So it's very important that you focus a lot more on tiles that will give you more vigor. And I truly am a little bit sad that we are limited in this way. I feel like all tiles should just be given equal amounts of points so that you can build according to how you really want to build, because I am quite a big proponent on building these kinds of stuff. But because we are limited to the fact that tiles give you different amount of vigor, then yeah, you see the resource output as well. Then that makes some of these tiles completely irrelevant. And what if I wanted more of, like, for example, the Greenfield too, right? Maybe I wanted to have some buildings, but now I can't have it because there is a limit to the number of tiles I can place, 120 in total, and they just give me like 6 vigor per tile, which is very, very bad. Okay, so the thing is, we have a limit of 120 tiles, so there is a total limit of 1,200 vigor coming from your tiles alone, assuming that all of your tiles gives you 10 vigor per tile, which is currently the highest. So then everything else will depend on other external factors. And what other external factors do we have? So let's take a look at the buildings, for example, right? We have the Moondog with the Tower Bridge, with the Wilderness Eye, etc, etc, etc. All of these buildings, they don't have a limit on your island. You can place as many as you want, and each of them give you a shit ton of vigor as well. So this is very important. And like I said before, right, the whole point of Vigor is that the higher your Vigor, the greater your resource output, your AFK rewards. So it's very freaking important for you to max this out as much as possible. So that means buying out every single building, especially in the event shop as well, right? So there is the bus. I went ahead to buy the culture bus as soon as possible because that's going to increase my AFK gains over time. So all of these buildings, they are super important. You must buy them out of the shop. It is without saying. So even if you go to the souvenir shop in the current event, you can see that they do sell some city path. They also sell Riverside and they also sell the green field. So not all of these are important. The only important purchase in my mind is the City Path 2 and the Riverside 2 as well. These two give you 10 and 8 Vigor per tile respectively. So please buy it. Please buy it so that you can replace your 6 Vigor tiles as soon as possible. You need to gather a lot of Vigor this way. Now some of you guys might also be thinking, right, like, does it really make a lot of sense for me to chase all of these buildings when it's probably only going to give me like 1 extra level of Vigor when I have like 1,600 points or something like that, right? That is a good question, by the way. Now let me give you the facts. Every single 1% they are benefiting from the Vigor bonus here. What that really translates to is, for example, you take a look at the Dust Bell Tower, right? All 3 of these queues added up is going to give you about somewhere around 19,000 dust per day. And if you increase your resource output by 1%, that's actually going to give you 190 per day. It might not seem like much, but if you average it according to the Pussy, for example, a place where you would grind for, I think, 12,500 dust for 25 activeness, that would then translate the 190 extra dust into about 0.4 stamina. And that is 0.4 stamina free that you get every single day so long as you're able to increase your Vigor by 1 level. So if you think about it in the long term, or at least the medium term, in 6 months time, that would mean you would have accumulated about 69 stamina, 69 free activeness just because you raised your Vigor level by 1. And that is only increasing your Vigor level by 1. So it is entirely possible to raise your Vigor to much higher levels, to maybe even like plus 40%. And that is such a massive difference. It is such a massive difference if you're thinking in the long term. Always think in the long term. When we play gacha games, we always try to focus on the long term. And it's a good thing that Reverse 999 is as casual as it is, so that actually allows players to want to play in the long term because you're not really required to do a lot of things, right? You log in, you clear your stuff, you log out afterwards. So considering that you're probably going to be investing into this game for the long haul, maybe like 1, 2, or even up to 5 years, then please focus on the wilderness. Make sure that you're always buying the right tiles, make sure that you're buying all the buildings, because like I said, the buildings do not have any limits, unlike your wilderness tiles with 120 placements in total. But yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna fix up my island again for the 2nd time. But if you have any other questions regarding the wilderness or how to minimax and improve your current experience, feel free to let me know down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Now, if you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. It really helps the channel, and subscribe for more Reverse 999 content. Now with that said, this has been Derek Free to Play, and as always, I will see you in the next video. And here's the final product. I am quite satisfied, I must say. So beautiful. My creation. I love all of you.